Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you guys my Philodendron hederaceum, Philodendron scandens, Heart Leaf Philodendron collection because I have a lot of different varieties. They're very easy to keep. They do well in most environments. Low light plants, they can tolerate, some bright indirect light, but really cool plants and so many different varieties. Some of them are very similar, but you'll see what I'm talking about as I go along. The first one I'm going to show you is in kind of sad shape. It's been neglected and I need to probably cut it up a little bit and propagate. But this is the standard scandens, the Philodendron hederaceum, Heart Leaf Philodendron, the standard green leaf variety that has been around for many years. You can see that this guy is doing very well in the medium. Some great roots and new leaf growth here, new leaf growth here. This I'm probably going to have to chop and prop. I may just like cut it and stick it right back in the medium because it is just lanky and neglected. But I want it to get nice and bushy and healthy, so I'll probably end up doing that. But anyway, low light plants, well draining, aerated soil works best. Of course, I have mine in my own medium, the yarn polyester synthetic, and it does just fine when I remember to water it. And I use the MaxiGrow nutrients. So anyway, this is the plain, common Heart Leaf Philodendron. And up next we have one that's doing a lot better than that one because it's always in my view and I always am reminded to take care of it. This is the lemon lime Philodendron scandens or hederaceum, Heart Leaf Philodendron. Look at how beautiful this plant is, and it's under a grow light and it's a little too close to the light, and you can see that the new growth comes in almost like bronzy. It's really kind of interesting. All the new leaves come in with that color, and eventually they fade to the lemon lime, very light green coloring. But yeah, doing extremely well. I can't even get the whole thing in this in the shot, but in the same medium, you can see the roots are doing very well. They're very happy and they're circling in the bottom. This is due for a watering. I can feel that the medium is dry. But yeah, this is the lemon lime variety. Really cool, very easy. If you want more of that lemon lime color, the brighter light brings that out. Of the plants that I'm going to be showing you, the variegated ones, the variegated varieties need the brighter light in order to pop with their variegation, as with most plants. Okay, next up is a plant that has regained popularity. It was around many years ago. It was known as the Philodendron mediopictum. It is now known as the Brazil. They just renamed it, I guess. But it is the dark green Heart Leaf Philodendron with light green streaks and different shades of that green, depending on the leaf. Very inconsistent. The variegation is not the same on any leaf. Each leaf is unique and different, and but beautiful. Very common though. I remember when this first came out for the second time, and everybody was making such a stink over it, and now it's just everywhere. And there are other varieties, and I think there are sports of this variety that are more expensive and more popular these days. But anyway, doing well. This is just a bunch of cuttings that I stuffed into the yarn medium, and you can see the roots are taking off, going nuts. It's been a little while. And this one also can use a little bit of a watering. But the Brazil, aka mediopictum, really pretty. Again, brighter light will make this variegation pop more. Otherwise, it'll become very bland green. The light green and the dark green won't be as drastically different. So, some bright indirect light works best. And next up, we have one that's a little bit less common, very popular, but a little more expensive. This is the Philodendron Silver Stripe. Now, it's similar, very similar to the Brazil or mediopictum, except the variegation switches between the light green, a silver, and a little bit of cream. You can see this one here has a little bit of cream in it. But it's usually a very narrow stripe, as the name implies. And you can see this one has just mostly silver with the green. Trying to get close so you can see it, but I don't know if that's helping. Yeah, so this is Philodendron Silver Stripe. This is a cutting that I had gotten. Oh, we do have some cool root growth here. This one was recently watered, so I don't need to top it off, but pretty plant. Silver Stripe is pretty, but I tend to like something with a little more variegation. So what I'm about to show you is right up my alley, and maybe some of yours. Again, this one is a Silver Stripe. All right. Next up, we have a very popular and much more expensive variety of the Heart Leaf Philodendron. This one is the Cream Splash, okay? You can see how much more variegation there is, and a lot of it is very cream colored, creamy, yellow, white. A lot more. It also has that silver in it, but there's a lot more variegation than the Silver Stripe. Really, really cool. If you can see, there's just so many different variations on each leaf. Each leaf is very different. This one has a lot of cream on it. So this one is the Cream Splash. And same care requirements. I haven't noticed any differences. I'm sorry I keep going out of frame, guys. But roots are doing very well. Nothing really different as far as care is concerned. Again, more bright indirect light will give you really cool variegation, and the cream will pop more against the dark green. This is a really cool leaf right here. You can see that. This one too. I really like this one. This one's really, really nice. Some of the leaves, as you can see, have very little variegation. And I have a feeling if I was to like cut that leaf node, like where this leaf is, and grow it out, there's a good chance that the whole plant that grows from that cutting would have very minimal variegation. Could even look like a Silver Stripe, but I want to try to keep the cream as much as possible because that's the whole point in having it, right? Okay, the last Heart Leaf Philodendron that I'm going to show you is a very tiny cutting. This one is very expensive and not as common. This one is very similar to the last two that I've shown you, except it's just a little bit different, and this cutting is, you know, definitely struggling a little bit to get some roots, but it will do just fine. This is the Rio. Okay, now the Rio typically has longer leaves, more tapering leaves, and the variegation is more like a blended stripe, almost like streaks, and not full lines or blotches. So this is a good example of what the variegation looks like. More like a streak of the silvery cream. This one you can't really see too well, and this is a newer leaf. But I do have a new leaf coming in here. Oh, sorry, I keep going out of frame. A new leaf coming in right there. So I can't wait to see what the variegation looks on that. And I hope that it's a nice long Rio leaf like this one. I just think it's really cool looking. So as this one grows, I will definitely take some cuttings because I want to make sure I have more of them. This one, it isn't the cheapest plant. I mean, it's not like crazy expensive, but it's definitely more expensive than the other varieties and less common. But there you have it. Those are my Heart Leaf Philodendron. That's my collection, and I have cuttings of a bunch of the same ones that I've shown you, but you know, just little cuttings to make additional plants. I have my leaf insurance because, you know, God forbid something happens to one of my plants, I want to make sure I have backup. But if you have any questions on anything that I showed you here, how I'm growing them, again, care is very easy, and the information is all over the internet if you're interested, but definitely reach out if you have any questions, and I will answer if I know the answer, or if you have a question on how I'm growing these guys, then just reach out and I'll explain my method because it's very unconventional, but pretty successful. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified, and I will see you in the next video.